Hello and welcome. Today we're in the Tier 10 Spanish heavy cruiser, the Castilla. She is essentially like a Napoli, not as tanky and no smokescreen, but she gets burst fire. Something we might actually get to use right here. Because look at that Hindenburg. She is sailing straight for an island. There's a Republic behind me. That Hindenburg will have to turn behind the island. And we're gonna try to wait. Wait for it. No, not yet. She's not turning fully. Wait for it. Maybe locking on spooks her. So, wait for it. Nope, not turning yet. Soon, soon. She's turning now. Let's fire. Double salvo. Let's see. Nice. 25k damage. Combine this with what the Republic did, and that Hindenburg is basically out of the fight for quite a while now. And this probably gives us a pretty big advantage on the flank, because Republic is... she doesn't like fighting cruisers that are good at HE spam, and Hindenburg definitely is pretty good at it. So the fact that the Hindenburg is now going to probably run away, or if she actually does fight, she's probably going to go down quickly, it means that my Republic is going to survive for a lot longer. So I'm willing to push. The two battleships over here are the Illinois and the Schlieffen. Both of them... actually, I don't know about the Illinois. I don't know much about the ship. But the Schlieffen isn't something that can fight the Republic at longer ranges. Oh, the Illinois is showing broadside. I'm gonna use burst fire here, even though with burst fire you get a longer reload. You do lose about 15 to 20% of the damage per minute when you do this. However, the benefit is that it allows me to fire all the shells at once, and then I can disappear from concealment, right? Because when you fire, you're spotted for 20 seconds. But if my reload is longer than 20 seconds, there's gonna be a little bit of a gap. And this will probably force enemies to switch targets. Okay, let's try again. I'm gonna get behind the island after a fire. So this is another moment that's good for burst firing, because I wouldn't be able to do that second shot anyway. I mean, 7k, but it's still pretty decent. Now I want to turn away. I don't wish to get within 12.5 kilometers of the Schlieffen. She probably has a secondary build, and those secondaries will hurt, because I am a cruiser after all. Okay, Schlieffen is still looking at me. Now, because she is pointed towards me, I use HE. Ooh, Midway is striking me, so I'm gonna have to try to turn and dodge as much as I can. The Castilla is pretty maneuverable, and she's really fast. She's 37 knots base, which means that with the flag she goes almost 39 knots. No speed boost needed. Also, it appears that the Schlieffen has suffered some catastrophic damage. Wow. I suffered some catastrophic damage just now too, but at least we didn't sink, unlike the German battleship over there. And I think now we should just head towards the sea cab. I mean, the only thing in the way is the Illinois and the split. Okay, she's trying to stand still. Is she reversing? Yeah, she's reversing. Okay, now let's just guess. The reason I want to burst fire destroyers usually is because you never know when they disappear. Just like right now. I would never have been able to get that second shot off. So if you have the burst fire capability available, you have to be cognizant of the fact that if you do burst fire, you do lose damage per minute output. But it allows you to, well, do it more in a burst, so if the enemy disappears or anything like that, you're better off. Right now, like firing at the Illinois here with burst fire is a mistake. Because I'm gonna stay spotted, the Illinois is gonna stay spotted. It doesn't make sense, but maybe I'll get unspotted, maybe. Yeah, no chance of that with the Split being over there. But are you sure you're making the right choice, Split? You do know Burst Fire does a lot of damage, right? I mean a lot of damage. That's what, 12,000 damage to the destroyer? Okay. Although, if we're being fair, I should have just fired a regular salvo, waited for my guns to reload and then burst fired. But she might have dodged by then, so maybe it wouldn't have been a better choice after all. I guess we just take the C cap and start heading towards B, and hopefully nice things will happen. One thing to keep in mind with this match is that it's actually a 9 versus 9 with a CV. So it's not quite a full match. But I mean, just hitting that Hindenburg early probably gave us a pretty sizable advantage on this flank. Because the battleships basically didn't have support, right? The Split was far behind because of the cap zone, so the battleships were fighting us on their own. Well, they lost. Quite badly, in fact. That last salvo on the Hindenburg probably should not have been a burst fire, because if I hadn't, I could fire at the midway right now with my scout plane. I don't have the range without it, but I could, although questionable whether I would actually be able to deal the damage, right, because it's an armored deck, and the angle is bad, and oh, never mind. Okay, well, my shells probably wouldn't have gotten there anyway. Well done, Republic, well done. And now it's just 3 ships left, the Borgonia, the Takahashi, and the Montana. I'm gonna head to the B cap. Hopefully I get to do some close quarters combat with my torpedoes. Has that Montana given up? She is still in that same position she was before. CV is probably gonna drop on me, but the angle looks to be extremely bad, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, the Borgonia seems to be not having a good time, and there's the Takahashi. I do have to be worried about torps. I'm gonna try to burst fire into the broadside of the Takahashi, but the angle doesn't look very good. Yeah, we didn't get any citadels. Unfortunate. I'm gonna try again with the rear turret, but it's probably not happening either. Yep. Now I should switch to non-burst fire, to be honest, because in burst fire mode this is a bit of a waste. Because obviously I'm gonna get to fire at the Takahashi a whole bunch. It's not actually guaranteed I'm gonna win this fight. I mean, I have 13k HP, she has 30k HP. That's twice, so I'm gonna really need all the DPM I can get. Maybe. Although burst fire does have one other advantage, which is it makes people scared. Oh no! Oh no! That was terrible. Wow. Into the island too. She disappeared just as I fired. Come on, where are you? I mean, I don't want to push out, because I am behind in HP to the Takahashi. She still has double my HP. Wow. Now I think a burst fire makes sense though, because she's gonna get behind the island soon. Ooh, 9k damage, and a fire at that. That's very good. Now I'm actually ahead, and even if she sets me on fire, I have a damage control party. And the Montana has been taken out by the Jaeger. I wonder why the Montana gave up. Hey, yeah, we're definitely winning this fight, especially since she's still on fire. I'm just gonna predict before she gets the fire, otherwise it might end up being a trade. And that was a whiff. I guess this is the problem when you predict, isn't it? If you predict wrong, you're screwed. Luckily I have a heal. And I'm gonna get another salvo. This time I'm not going to miss. So, goodbye, Takahashi. This is a pretty good game for me. Everything went well right from the get-go. We got a very nice salvo off on the Hindenburg, and then we just rolled from there. 136k damage in a 9 versus 9. I'd say that's pretty good. 2274 base XP. And here's the damage. Let's go on to game number 2. It's arms race with only one destroyer on each side, but we do have submarines that can help out. I'm heading closer to the island, and now I'm gonna start turning away. Because, well, I expected something like this. I expected there to be a Venezia. I wanted to be preemptively already turned so I don't have to turn in front of them. Is that a broadside I see there, Venezia? Would you like some burst fire AP? Hello? Another 25k opening against a cruiser? I bet the Venezia is regretting her decisions right about now. There is a Montana behind the Venezia though. I am a little scared. But hopefully I'll be okay. Is the Venezia still? Well, nah, this is way too angled. It doesn't look very angled, but clearly it is. I still fire the AP just because that's what I had loaded, and hopefully it does. Well, I mean, that was like 7,000 damage. That's pretty good. I took 7k in return though. Luckily though, I am using burst fire, so I'm gonna disappear now. I can turn freely, I think. Although, I might as well fire because I'm gonna get unspotted, since I am out of range. I don't know if any of those will actually hit. Yeah, unfortunately they didn't. I'm gonna have to head closer again. I wonder where their submarine is. I mean, she's probably over here, right? Because we got one here. But it hasn't taken the reload buff, surprisingly. So it's uncertain. Maybe she went middle or something. Wow, the U-2501 has actually taken out the Venezia. Surprising. I guess this is why the battleships are running, huh? I mean, battleship and cruiser. Okay, we know where the submarine is, roughly. So unfortunately, I am out of range. Cruisers only get 8-kilometer drop range for the anti-submarine stuff. But soon I'm gonna be within range. But I mean, she's sailing next to a Schlieffen and a Montana. Schlieffen's Hydra is probably very powerful there. Oh, there it is. Oh, it seems our Montana is actually gonna die. Unfortunate. Oh, submarine's being sneaky, huh? But usually it's not a good idea to get next to your targets, because they will drop you a lot. And they're gonna hit quite a lot. You know, like this. 5k damage to the submarine. And the worst part about if you're the submarine is that this stuff usually knocks out your the lock-on thing, right? And then you can't really launch your torpedoes while you're submerged. Maybe that's why the submarine surfaced. But that's also why he died. Okay, that wasn't the greatest damage. Now fighting a Montana is kinda alright, because my armor deck is 30 millimeters, so it's technically possible to bounce some of that stuff. Satsuma, on the other hand, is not possible for me to bounce, other than my citadel protection, basically. So I'm gonna have to be scared of this guy, particularly when I get spotted by aircraft. This is very bad. I turn in towards both of the battleships, and hopefully I survive this salvo. Oof, that's some pretty good damage. Oh, there's a Marceau in the middle too. Oh, thank God, the Marceau and Schlieffen managed to finish each other off. Otherwise, the Marceau could have just spotted me and caused me huge trouble. Anyway, I think burst fire here is extremely warranted, because I get to stay unspotted, force the battleships to switch targets and stuff. And now we start running. We gotta reposition. I don't want to be chasing two battleships that both can probably outfight me. Especially because the only things we have over here are the submarine and Yoshino. And I think the submarine is going to be just fine on his own. And Yoshino also seems to be leaving anyway, so I think it's a good plan for both of us. Are we gonna get a fire again? Come on. Ooh, nice. Thank you. Wouldn't it be nice if we could speed up sailing when you reposition like this too? Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Very unrealistic though. Okay, the Nahimov seems to be striking the Yoshino. Okay, and there's the Gudenlu, or Haudelu, in the middle. Right there. Hello! Would you like some AP? Let's turn in to minimize the chance I get punished in return. I'm not sure if... Actually, no. Yeah. This is a good choice to burst fire here, because, well, she might just not show me broadside later on anymore. And goodbye. Time to start heading closer to them, because it seems all the enemy battleships have been corralled to their spawn, or behind their spawn. It's pretty safe to say that we're winning this game though. I mean, we have control of the center camp. We definitely have a buff advantage, a pretty significant one at that. Like, we have the damage and reload buffs that they don't have. We have an HP buff that they don't have. And all of their ships... Oh, and they just lost their carrier too. Yeah, never mind. That's definitely over then. Montana is having fun fighting the U-2501. As much fun as you can have fighting a submarine as a battleship, huh? And I'm gonna be fighting Namtar over here. There's probably a Montana that's gonna join, but I do have a Napoli as well, so there's a good chance they might target him instead of me. Here, I could actually just fire AP just as well. Hitting the broadside superstructure of a battleship does a lot of damage. But I mean, when you're firing at a supership that has 120,000 HP, fires are pretty juicy as well. I'm gonna burst fire here, because I wanna disappear for a little bit, because they seem to be all targeting me, and if I'm unspotted for even like 5 seconds, they're probably gonna switch targets. Although, it seems that my reload rate is fast enough that I don't get unspotted. Never mind then. I shouldn't burst fire in such a case then. Ouch. 7k. Just from the bow of the ship. There's so many nice targets. Let's see, can we finish the Petrov? Okay, now Napoli got Petra. Okay, Satsuma wants to fight. Still. Let's try our best then. Still haven't taken the center cap. Probably because I keep getting hit. But I mean, I'm not taking fatal damage, so I think things are still looking good. Burst firing here is yet again a mistake. This is just stuff that I've learned. I mean, the more you play the ship, the more you learn about this stuff. Wow, that's a lot of clinking, clanking. I'm gonna try hitting the Montana, because the next ship that they lose ends the game. So hitting the... never mind. Somebody finish the Satsuma off. Can my shells land? Please, I need more damage. Please, please. No. Saved by the bell. Oh well. 140k damage yet again, and yet again we saw a nice burst fire start with AP. Honestly, this ship's AP is really nice. I have been actually using it now a lot more than when I recorded this match, and it's pretty good. If you want to see another Castilla match soon, let me know, because I've been playing this ship quite a bit recently, and I've started to enjoy it a lot more the more I played it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the Patreon and Patron. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.
Torpedos al frente.